Hello and welcome to the 12th video lecture of Quantitative Techniques Semester 3 Module number 1. In today's video lecture we are going to start with one more problem on Karl Pearson's coefficient of correlation. In previous lecture we have seen one problem where we had done change of origin. In today's video lecture we are going to do change of origin as well as change of scale. I hope you are understanding the problems which I am taking online. If you have any difficulties, you have to contact me personally. Also, I request every one of you to solve these problems on a separate book so that it becomes a practice for you. So when I am teaching you in the online class, I hope you are writing it down on a book so that it becomes easy for you to refer to it after some time. So let us begin today's lecture. As I've told you earlier that change of origin and change of scale can be used when the given numbers are huge. So when you multiply two numbers, that is x and y, and or you find x square or y square, you will get very big values, and then again you have to find out summation of x, y. So again it becomes big values. Sometimes these numbers become so huge that a small accounting calculator may not be helpful for you to do this calculations. So what should you do? Instead of going through all these rigorous steps, what you can do is you can simply do one change in the initial step, that is change of scale and change of origin, and reduce those numbers which are given values of x and y into smaller numbers, more easy numbers to calculate. So this is what we are going to do in today's problem. So let us begin. So the problem goes like this. Calculate the Karl Pearson's coefficient of correlation and comment on it. X and y values are given. The x and y values are as follows. X values are given, y values are given. So 820 for 840, 880, 870, 890, 875, 920, 905 and so on. So we have various values, totally 8 set of values, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 values of x and 8 values of y. So n is equals to 8 because we have 8 set of values. Now this is same what we have done previously. You can go with the previous method itself what we have seen, but you can use change of scale as well as change of origin like what we are gonna do in this problem. It's not compulsory to do always change of scale or change of origin, but if you want to reduce these numbers, that is 820, 840 into much more smaller numbers so that it becomes easier for you to calculate, then you can use this method. Or else if you want, you can use the same method which we have done in our previous problems. This is not a different method as such, only the first step changes and the remaining everything including the formula remains the same. So we'll just do what we had done previously. We'll just note down x and y values vertically. So this is the problem, and I have just noted down x and y values in vertical format, the same problem which they had given in the question. So what is the next step? Under normal process we find x square, xy square and xy. So that is x into x, y into y, and then x into y. So all these three things we find, but the numbers that we may get is very high. So instead of that, what we do is we find something known as capital X, which is equals to, and capital Y, which is equal to. So what is capital X and capital Y? See here, I am doing both change of scale as well as change of origin. So what we have to do here? This is what we do. What I have done here is, for simplicity, to not have any negative numbers, what I have done is, out of all these x values, which is the smallest number of x, the value of x, that is 820. If you see all these numbers of x, the smallest number is 820. So I am subtracting x minus 820. So I am subtracting 820 from all these numbers, x minus 820. Okay. If I do x minus 820, it is only change of origin. Okay, so I'll get numbers like 0, 60 and so on, 70, then 100 and so on. Still we have big numbers. So all those numbers which are there are divisible by 5. Okay, so what I've done is change of scale, I've divided them by 5 also. Simple thing, I'll just tell you, x minus the smallest value of x I've taken, that is 820 in this instance. So if I keep this much only, still again I will get bigger numbers. So what I will do, whatever numbers I get out of this, all these numbers are divisible by 5. If they are divisible by 10, divide by 10. If they are divisible by 8, divide by 8. So you have to see all those numbers come under which table. So all these numbers are coming under the table of 5. So I am dividing them by 5 here. Okay, so after doing, first subtract 820 and then divide by 5. So subtract 820, you will get 0, and 0 divided by 5 is 0. 880 minus 820 is 60, divided by 5 is 12. Similarly, 890 minus 820 is 70, divided by 5 is 14. 920 minus 820 is 100, divided by 5 is 20, and so on. So all these values you will get. Now the next thing is y. Now y is equals to, again the same thing we are gonna do. What we have to find the smallest value of y. What is the smallest value of y? It is 830. This is the smallest value of y, 830. So I am reducing 830 or subtracting 830 from all the values of y. So what I will get? 840 minus 830, 10. So now 870 minus 830, 40. 875 minus 830, now I am getting 45. So all these numbers are again divisible by 5. So I am dividing them by 5. So you can do any number again. Now this number which I have taken, that is divided by 5. Here for instance, here I had taken divided by 5. Here also in this case I am dividing by 5. But if sometimes if it is divisible by 10, you can divide it by 10 also. If it is divisible by 8, you can divide it by 8 also, and so on. So you can use any of these numbers. It does not mean that this denominator and this denominator needs to be same. It can be different also. But the only thing is, all these values which are there in the numerator have to be completely divided by this number. Any number you can take. So again the same procedure what we had followed here, that is 840, here it is 840 minus 830, that is 10, divided by 5 is 2. 870 minus 830 is 40, divided by 5 is 8, and so on. So once you do all these things, you will get values like this. Now these values of x and y which I've got will be taken as the actual values of x and y for solving a problem. So this is what we are interested in, these values of x and y. Okay, we don't want these values. These values are not needed now. So smaller values we have got. So very easily we can find x square, y square, and xy. So x square is x into x, y square is y into y, and xy is x into y. So all these we know how we have found out. We'll first find x square, that is 0 into 0 is 0. Similarly 12 into 12 is 144, and so on. So similarly y square values also will get all these values, that is 2 into 2 is 4, here it is 8 into 8 is 64, 9 into 9 is 81, and so on. Xy value, so xy value, how do we find? X into y. So where is x? Here. See, remember this we are not using, don't use these values. So 0 into 2 is 0, then 12 into 8 is 12 8 is 96, and so on. So after doing all this, the next step is you have to find all the summation of all these numbers. that is you have to find out total of all these values here. Okay, so what is the total of all these values? This is what you will get: summation of x square, summation of y square, summation of xy, along with summation of x and summation of y. So all these values you will get in the end when you add it. Okay, so once you get this, remaining everything is same. You have to use the formula of correlation, and the formula I have written it down, same formula: n into summation xy minus summation x into summation y divided by square root of n into summation x square minus summation x the whole square multiplied by n into summation y square minus summation y the whole square. Here one thing I have by mistake I have written down, use capital X because you have taken capital X, right? So capital X into capital Y. All these capital, see capital X you are gonna use here, not small x. So be careful about that. Suppose if they have given you capital X and capital Y here in the problem, then this will be small x and small y. So they are just two different notations. If they have given you small x and small y, convert them into capital X and capital Y. If they have given you capital X and capital Y, convert them into small x and small y. And similarly, just substitute what we have done in previous problems. So once you substitute the values, you will get values like this. 8, n is 8 we have seen, into summation xy. Where is summation xy? Summation xy is here, 870, minus summation x. Where is summation x? Here it is 85, into summation y, that is 61, and so on, divided by square root of this, that, this. So you can just substitute and see that. So r is equals to, you will get this way once you substitute. Then just multiply 8 into 870 minus 85 into 61. What will you get in the numerator is 6960. So 8 into 870 is 6960 here, and then 85 into this 61 is 5185, the whole divided by square root of 8 into 1207 is 9656 minus 85 square, that is 85 into 85 is 7225, bracket complete, and in other bracket 8 into 641. So what is 8 into 641? 5128 minus 61 into 61, that is 3721. So always solve the bracket first. So numerator does not has any bracket, so 6960 minus 5185 is 1775. So 1775 divided by square root of, see here, 9656 minus 7225 is 2431, and then 5128 minus 3721 is 1407. So if you multiply both this, what will you get? You will get 34,20,417 in the square root sign, and numerator remains the same. So just copy the numerator down, find the square root of 34,20,417. You will get answer as 1849.44, and r equal to 0.9597 is what you will get. So 0.9597. Now what do you mean by r equal to 0.9597? What will be your comment? Your comment will be, it shows very high degree of positive correlation, positive because you have a positive sign, and a very high degree because it is very close to 1. So this is how you have to solve. What you have to do is, you have to take this problem without change of scale and without change of origin. Try to solve it as I've told you in my previous problems, and check whether you will get the same answer. You must get the same answer, but the only thing is the numbers that you are getting will be little bigger, large values. So try that also. Compare that value of r with this value of r and see if there is any difference. If there is any difference, it will be very minor difference in the third or the fourth decimal place, but 0.95, these first two decimals will remain the same. The other part, that is little difference, minor difference, maybe because of you have left some digits after from your calculator and you are approximated. So in approximation they may get changed, but you will get answer that is 0.95 something. So my answer what I got when using change of scale and origin is 0.9597. you will also get similar kind of an answer if you do not do change of scale and change of origin. So I hope you do that problem without change this problem, as well as the problem using the same numbers which they have given you without doing change of scale and change of origin, and compare both the answers. So this is your homework also, you can try it out, compare both the answers, and please tell me if you have got any different answers. Okay, so this is end of the problem. For in the next video lectures we'll be starting with different type of correlation, that is rank correlation. So I hope you understood Karl Pearson's coefficient of correlation. It is used whenever the actual numbers are given. So actual values only we are taking here, we are not changing the values. So when rank correlation, we'll discuss how you are not using the actual values and instead we are using the ranks there. So that will keep for the next video lecture. For the time being, I hope you practice with Karl Pearson's coefficient of correlation. Till then, goodbye and happy learning.